Hey everyone, I'm Shane Reinhardt, owner of Reinhardt's Four Seasons, and I'm here to show you how I took my business from a push mower to what it is today. Hey everyone, so with one of our early videos, I wanted to dive in and show you what it is that we currently have for our mowing setup. But before we get into what we currently have, I want to show you where we started. A few folks have already reached out and asked, hey, what should I buy? Should I buy the biggest, baddest, most expensive thing right out of the gates? My answer is, this is what we started with. Push mower, a handheld leaf blower, a tarp, and a trimmer. The only thing we're missing here is the Ford Ranger. This is how Reinhardt's Four Seasons started and got us to where we are today. So now, where are we at today? Well, to get started, we will start with our vehicle. The vehicle that we chose to go with and the accessories that we chose to go with is what you see here. What was important to us to have was a dump bed. We only needed a single cab pickup shell because our mowing crew only consists of two guys for the most part. If we do need a third guy on occasion, then we can fit a third guy in the middle. It's a little tight, but everyone gets along. One thing I would like to add to this truck is some underbody toolboxes, because what happens is when the guys have lunch pails or maybe their big water jugs, it does get a little crammed in there. So it'd be nice to have a spot to put those things underneath, out of their way, and also not in the back where all the grass and leaf clippings are. This truck in particular is a rear-wheel drive vehicle. We don't use it for plowing or salting or anything in the winter. So a way for us to save a couple bucks was to not spend it on a four-wheel drive system. For what we use this truck for, it's perfect. F350. The 250s, we feel, the 250 single rear wheels just didn't have quite enough suspension stability for us when you fill this full of grass or leaf clippings. So having that dual rear wheel axle is definitely what we need for what we're doing. And before I get to go any deeper, I'd like to explain that the setup that we have is not the only setup that anybody should ever have. There's a lot of different setups that make a lot of sense. And what really matters is what kind of route do you have, what kind of size properties do you have, and what kind of crew do you have. And then you need to kind of fit your setup to fit and meet all of those needs. For us, we do have a pretty wide variety of properties, which means we do need a bit of a variety in our mowing setup or in our mowing rig. So let's move back to the trailer. To get started with the trailer itself, the trailer is a 24-foot long trailer. Why I went with a 24-foot long setup is because, as you can see, we currently have our three biggest mowers can fit on there all at once. There is a little bit of overlap that we have to do where we push the bags up so that we can fit them on there nicely, but any less than 24 feet, we wouldn't be able to do this as easily. This really is the setup that we use in the fall the most. Usually when we're cutting, we only have two of these big mowers on and one of the smaller ones. So the color of the trailer. The color of the trailer I chose because everyone in the area that has a lawn care company has a black trailer, and I wanted to be a little bit different. So I thought, you know what? This is our grass cutting trailer. Grass is green. Let's get a green trailer. So that was the thought process behind that. As far as accessories on this trailer, these did not come on the trailer. We bought them secondhand and installed them ourselves. Those accessories are a backpack blower here. There is another one on the back side. We do have our trimmer rack that holds two trimmers and a edger. And then we also have a fuel can holder for our mixed gas and a trimmer line holder. So these are all things that in years past, we could forget one of them on the day-to-day, where now they're permanently mounted to the trailer and we just don't have to forget about that stuff. We do have a toolbox mounted on the front of the trailer that holds just some random tools, some random parts that we may need, extra belts, things of that nature. Now, last, as far as the trailer goes, we do have a safety cone on the back, which is just great because we're always parked on the side of the road, and it's just a good way for the traffic to be able to see us and the guys and the equipment and know that they need to slow down and move over. Towards the back here, you'll see a couple of the other machines that we use in our lawn care division of work. This here is what we use in the fall. This is called a leaf plow. It mounts to the front of one of these mowers just as if a thatcher would. And what this does is if you do get a large pile of leaves and you are at a property that has a woods or any other place that you can push the leaf pile to, instead of trying to blow it, you can take this bad boy, push it super easy, save a ton of time, which is cheaper for the customer and allows us to get onto the next job even faster. This mower right here is a Gravely Pro Walk. It's 48 inches wide. We use this in backyards that have fences, and we also use this on properties that may have a very steep area of the property. These big mowers do hold hills fairly well, but there are some spots on our route that are a bit dangerous and have some pretty high consequences underneath those areas. So this is just a safe way for all of us to get those properties taken care of without putting anybody in harm's way. Next, the Little Wonder blower. So those of you that don't know, this is just another type of leaf blower. We mainly use it in the fall. We use it a ton in the fall, and it's got wheels. You push it. It's got, I don't know the CFM rating on it off the top of my head, but as our crew has talked before, we've said that one of these blowers equals about 3 backpack blowers. In conjunction with this, using those backpack blowers together is a beast like no other. And then you throw in the leaf plow with that. In the leaf season, we are unstoppable. So it's pretty fun to, pull up to a property and look at it and say, wow, like this would take a family of 5 an entire weekend to do it, and 3 of us can do it in an hour. Obviously, having the right equipment certainly helps, and having the right guys that know how to use that equipment helps as well. Down the line, we have our Toro push mower. This is a 30-inch dual blade push mower. It does have a bagger on it, electric start. These are super, super nice. I'll be honest, we don't use this a ton. If we do get a property on a route that maybe has like a pool type area, again, a fenced in area, something goofy like that, that's where we can use this machine. Again, we don't currently use it a ton, but we keep it in case that property does come up. We have the right piece of equipment for it. And last, this is a sidewalk concrete edger. This is a Gravely one with a Subaru engine. This is for when we show up to a property that has, 3, 4, 5, 6 inches of overgrowth onto the sidewalk or onto the driveway, and we need to establish an edge first. This is the machine we use. And once that edge is established, that's when we go back over and use the edger that's on the trailer with us. So as you can see, there's a lot here. This is what works really well for us. That doesn't mean it's going to work really well for somebody else. What you should figure out is what properties do you have? What do those properties need as far as equipment? And what size crew do you need to run those properties? Once you figure that stuff out, you'll be able to kind of piece together, okay, what does our perfect setup look like, and make it for yourself. This works really well for us, but again, there's also a lot of other setups that work really well for other guys. So I hope this was beneficial for you and you're able to learn a little bit from this. You can see what it is that we use and why we use it. And if you would, you can email, comment, and send us messages if you have any further questions. Be sure to follow us on Facebook and Instagram if you want to see more of our day-to-day and what it is that we do. Thanks, everyone.